The Zyral were ambitious conquerors, towering insectoid beings with chitin that gleamed like polished steel. They had spread across 30 sectors, enslaving or assimilating dozens of lesser races. And now they hungered for something greater, the forgotten technologies of the ancients. Scouts brought back whispers of a world in the Perseus Arm. A green-blue planet, its continents scarred with the remnants of colossal cities. Vast stasis vaults pulsed beneath its surface like a heartbeat. Machines guarded it, yet never attacked. They simply waited. "It is forbidden," the Zyral viceroy hissed as the council debated. "The Codex says." "The Codex is fear," interrupted war leader Crosshall, his mandibles clacking with contempt. "Fear written by those who envied power. If the humans had such might, where are they now? Asleep, helpless, forgotten. We will claim their secrets. We will be gods." And so, against the whispered protests of their scholars and allies, the Zyral descended upon Earth. The awakening. They shattered the automated guardians, orbital drones that had spun silently for millennia, now obliterated in flashes of plasma fire. They dug into the stasis vaults, their plasma drills chewing through alloy harder than diamond. Inside, they found rows upon rows of chambers. And in those chambers lay the humans. Their bodies seemed fragile compared to Zyral bulk, soft-skinned and thin-boned. Yet there was something unnerving about their stillness. Each human floated in pale blue liquid, eyes shut, hands folded as though simply dreaming. The Zyral cracked open a pod. The first human awoke with a gasp. His eyes snapped open. 2 orbs of impossible intensity. His chest rose and fell. His gaze darted to the Zyral warriors surrounding him. For a heartbeat he seemed confused. Then his lips curved into the faintest smile. "What year is it?" he asked. The Zyral, uncomprehending, moved closer, and the human moved faster. With a single motion, he tore free of the cables that had bound him for centuries. His hand shot out, seizing the plasma lance of his nearest captor, and in the same motion he drove it through the Zyral's thorax. The alien screamed and fell. Chaos erupted. Dozens of pods hissed open of their own accord, as if networked. Humans stumbled out, eyes adjusting, bodies weak from ages of sleep. But where another species would have collapsed, the humans adapted. Muscles hardened. Reflexes sharpened. Rage ignited. The Zyral had not awoken prisoners. They had awoken predators. Middle. Word spread across the Zyral fleet like fire. The humans were awake. At first, the war leaders mocked the panic. A few primitive bipeds cannot threaten the Dominion. But the reports kept coming. Entire Zyral battalions wiped out by humans wielding their own stolen weapons. Warships hijacked. Command posts reduced to ash. The humans fought with a terrifying ferocity. They learned instantly, as though combat was written into their marrow. A Zyral squad would adapt tactics mid-battle, only to find the humans had already anticipated them. And worse, more vaults opened. Every destroyed Zyral ship, every captured facility, seemed to trigger more awakenings. First hundreds, then thousands, then tens of thousands of humans surged into the galaxy. The Dominion reeled. The Galactic Council convened in secret, their members trembling. The serpentine Lorveth hissed in terror. The crystalline Drex hummed in panic. The feathered Kosheri clawed at their own wings. "We told them!" the Kosheri delegate shrieked. "The Zyral broke the only law. The humans are loose again." The Drex vibrated mournfully. "They will not stop. Do you not remember the histories? The last time humans walked the stars, they ended empires without trying. They fight not to conquer, but because they do not know how to yield. The council debated whether to aid the Zyral or abandon them. But it was already too late. The tide had turned. Human resurgence. Captain Elias Rain had been among the first awakened. He remembered fragments of the old world. Blue skies, music, laughter, then the long sleep. He did not know how long they had slumbered, only that war had found them the moment they opened their eyes. And war was what humans understood. Within weeks, scattered human groups had reforged communication networks, rebuilt weapons from scavenged Zyral tech, and organized fleets from captured warships. They did not just fight, they innovated. Plasma rifles became railguns. Zyral cruisers became carriers bristling with jury-rigged cannons. Rain stood on the bridge of the Vigilant, once a Zyral destroyer, now flying under a crude human emblem, a hand gripping fire. "Status?" he asked. "3 more vaults have opened in the Vega system," reported Lieutenant Kara Singh. "We've got 30,000 more awake. Engineers already refitting their ships." Rain's jaw tightened. "Good. The faster we gather, the stronger we hit." They were not content with survival. They were preparing for something larger. The Zyral counterattacked with their full Dominion fleet, 2,000 warships, a storm of plasma and steel. Humanity met them with barely a quarter of that number. The battle should have been impossible. It was. For the Zyral, the humans fought like no species had ever fought. They turned wreckage into weapons, rammed ships with suicidal precision, hacked enemy targeting systems mid-battle, and adapted faster than the Zyral could comprehend. By the end, the Dominion fleet was shattered, its survivors fleeing into the void. Across the galaxy, a whisper turned into a roar. "The humans are awake." The rule explained. Amid the chaos, the Galactic Council sought out the surviving archivists, the near-mythical race who had watched empires rise and fall. It was they who finally explained the truth. "Why was the rule made?" demanded the Council. "Why must humans never be disturbed?" The archivist, a being of shifting light and shadow, pulsed slowly. "Because humans are different," it said. "Most species evolve to survive within balance. They find equilibrium with their world, with each other. But humans are imbalance given flesh. They are never content. They climb every mountain, cross every sea, split every atom. And when they meet opposition, they grow stronger. Conflict does not break them, it perfects them. They were not meant for a peaceful universe." The Kashari delegate shivered. "So you put them to sleep?" The archivist's light dimmed. "No. They put themselves to sleep. They saw what they were becoming. A storm that would never stop. And so they chose silence. They gave the galaxy a gift, peace. That was the rule, to honor their sacrifice." The chamber fell into horrified silence. And then came the inevitable question. If they are awake now, what happens next? Ending. The answer came not in words, but in fire. Human fleets, now numbering in the hundreds, poured out of once dead systems. They did not conquer indiscriminately. They struck only at the Zyral, dismantling their empire piece by piece. Enslaved worlds were liberated. Shackles shattered. For the first time in centuries, hope bloomed across the stars. But the Council watched with unease. Because every battle made the humans sharper. Every victory fed the storm. On the bridge of the Vigilant, Captain Rain stared at the galactic map. "We've broken the Zyral spine," Singh reported. "The Dominion is collapsing." "Good," Rain said. But there was no triumph in his voice. Only a grim inevitability. He remembered the archivist's words.